Welcome to DJ MTV.
My correct people, we greet you now. Welcome now once again to DJ MTV. I will say happy new week to all of you now. My people, on the last week, 20th October, now it be Endsars Memorial. Until this TV years, so where this thing don't happen, a lot of persons don't come outside come talk concerning the Endsars movement and everything will happen for the Endsars brigade. Right now, my people, Seun Kuti will be the son of late music legend Fela Kuti. He don't come outside come talk his own view onto this Endsars Memorial. A lot of things wey he talk for this interview wey he do for Arise. My people, I go upload on this video now. Muna listen to Seun Kuti. Muna hear wetin he talk concerning this whole matter of Endsars. Make una watch and make una no forget to like and share.
Joining me now to discuss the Endsars protest and also issues that have developed in the last 2 days about Endsars, governance, and all of those issues is Seun Kuti. You all know him. But one of the issues is that he's one of the loudest voices in the clamor for a new Nigeria. And it is safe to say that Seun Kuti took after his late father, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, who was a musical maestro and forever a legend. Seun, good to have you.
Egbomi, thanks for having me on the show.
I was worried. I mean, you were supposed to start the program with Endsars, and I was saying, "Where's my brother? Where's my brother?" What happened?
I was told this morning, and my wife was in Badagry. It was kind of a hectic day yesterday for her. I don't want to go into that anyway. But anyway, it took us about an hour and a half to get here because Third Bridge is closed for repairs again. Yet again, for 48 hours. So. I think that caused serious congestion on the other alternative routes. So it was difficult to get here.
Well, but I'm glad you are here now.
No, I'm happy to be here. It's good to see you.
Our main subject is Endsars, 3 years after. Do you think that we have learned any lessons? Have we? Both the people and the police, and also the young people who took to the barricades 3 years ago.
Well, I think we've not really made any progress. I don't think we've not learned anything. I think we've learned how fragile the thread that holds this society together is really. I think Endsars showed us that. You know, also how untrustworthy people in power are. Those that are so rich and well-fed, hoarding Gari and Indomie that should have been given to the poor when they were locked down. You know, for what purpose was those things that they did not even need? For what purpose was it kept away from the people? You know, I think people learned a lot of the nature of the society that we live in from that. But in terms of progressing from that, I don't think we've made any progress. You know, both the people, in terms of understanding their relationship with power and how to engage with power, and those in power, in terms of how to, you know, engage with their people, I think.
Yeah, but Endsars was disbanded. And, you know, at that time, the Inspector General of Police said, oh, look, policemen will be subjected as requested to mental health check and all that. Do you think that the police are now saner, you know, in terms of their relationship with the people?
The police is the human representative, is an institution, right? Part of a system. It is our first, it's most times the first contact we have with our system as the people, you know. And I think the police is a fair reflection of the kind of system that we live under. You know, and I don't think the policemen themselves are to blame. You know, I think the issue really is that they're a reflection of those that gave them the job. You know, and those that are supposed to maintain the job. I am close to some policemen, in fact. I don't want to say the states, but one of the commissioners in Nigeria is one of my closest persons in my life, very close to me. And I know that his job and his nature are at odds all the time. Because the job itself prevents the better part of the man from coming through. So that is a larger issue that Nigerians have to address. You know, how are we going to be policed? Are we going to still be policed the way the colonialists set up the police force as a way to protect the people from them? Or are we going to create a police system, a police unit that actually is there to protect the people in general? I mean, this is 2023. What is the number that we're supposed to call if we need police to come to our house in an emergency? That should tell us all we need to know. You know, Endsars or no Endsars, you know, police brutality and the relationship between the police and the Nigerian people, you know, the impunity at which they operate. You know, this is something that should be addressed, but not by sacking one policeman every time. We should see that this issue is systemic and bring systemic solutions to the issue. But we are still lying to ourselves like, oh, it's some few bad eggs in the police force, when we all know that it's a systemic issue that should be addressed head on. So that's why the Endsars itself could not move forward with any real proper progress in this relationship, you know, because the Nigerian police still wasn't spoken to. Endsars is a police unit. I was saying to a friend of mine, you know, the Endsars, does that mean police brutality is going to stop and the way all the other police units interact with Nigeria is going to change? We need a holistic approach, you know, not the elitist pick and choose we like to do here.
Okay, look, after that incident, the Nigerian government, the state, Kwa State, tried to make some efforts, right? One of the efforts that they made was disbanding the Endsars and, you know, reversing some of the measures that were taken. But we are now being told by Amnesty International that there are some people who are still in detention. In Lagos State government paid compensation, set up a tribunal, a panel to look into the matter. Other states did the same thing, you know, and people were compensated and all of that. Do you think that that has gone far enough and that government has at least tried to meet the people halfway to reassure them, to build confidence and trust
but,
in the state?
What was fascinating to me is that the state itself disavowed the findings of its own, the tribunal is set up to look into the special offences tribunal is set up to look into the whole Endsars and police issue in Lagos State. You know, so we can say that the compensations are a form of tokenism. Knowing fully well that many of the people that protested are still in, some of them are locked up in different states as we speak, you know. So my issue is not whether one person is compensated or one person is not compensated. My issue is how do we change this relationship so that the police of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria are not constantly at loggerheads with each other, you know, to create a viable police force, you know, that represents the well-being of its people, the security of its people, you know. I'm tired of living in a country where I'm afraid of my security forces. You know, I was saying to people, to somebody that was kind of pro-police and was a military guy arguing for their institutions. And I said, you cannot deny the fact that, you know, if someone is sleeping in his house in this country and it's 2 a.m. in the morning and you hear a loud bang on your door and the person says, armed robber, you will feel, it is the same fear you will feel in your heart that you will feel if you hear Nigeria Army, Nigeria Police at 2 a.m. in the morning. And it shouldn't be so. We shouldn't be afraid in our hearts that way, you know, if we hear the names of these institutions called as we hear the names of things that are supposed to hurt us being called. So that for me is the fundamental thing that must be addressed.
DJ